I'm about to break down the exact science of how to make 100 cold calls in a single day. Most sellers buy into the lie that in order to be a top performer, you need to have an award-winning personality or crazy talent, but that couldn't be further from the truth. After spending 10 years in tech sales at top companies like Oracle, Google Cloud, and a late-stage startup, here's what I've found to be the secret to success of even seven-figure earners that I've known in my personal network. They all focus on executing money-making activities better than their peers. They make more quality cold calls that lead to more quality conversations and more quality pipeline and more revenue. Master the cold calling productivity hacks I'm about to teach you, and you will transform your tech sales career and unlock the seven-figure upside that it offers. So first off, if you want to make 100 cold calls in a single day, you need to prepare like a professional and set a context so you can enter into your cold calling block and execute without distractions. Outside of your work hours, you want to prepare curated account lists based on your ideal client profile. Get very clear on what your best customers look like, segmented by industry and even local region if possible, and build lists that are tailored to specific industry types, local regions. Add the right personas like your executive decision makers, your influencers, and your end users to that list, and populate their contact information, specifically their phone numbers, so you have a curated, targeted list of 100 contacts and 100 phone numbers ready to go. The next step in your preparation, again outside of work hours, is to prepare your talk tracks that are tailored by industry and the specific personas that you're going to be reaching out to. You're going to want to practice these tailored talk tracks over and over and over until they become automatic. You're going to want to practice responding to the most common objections that you expect to get over and over and over until your responses become automatic. The last thing you want is to be in your call block and be caught practicing on the court when it's game time. So now you've done your preparation off the court and it's game time. You're ready to go. You feel that swagger and you set your goal for 100 calls. And you're going to do it over the course of 4 hours, either from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And you're going to do 25 calls per hour, 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. And when you take 10 minutes off after your 50 minutes of calls, executing your 25 calls, you're going to want to refresh your mind with meditation, maybe stretch, do some yoga, and then get ready to get back into the next block. You're going to want to break down your 100 calls into 10 bursts of 10 calls per burst and count down as you complete each burst from 10 to 9 bursts to 8 bursts to 7 bursts to 6 bursts all the way down to 1 and 0 bursts. And within each burst, you're going to want to count down the number of calls you make from 10 calls to 9 calls to 8 calls to 7 calls to 6 calls, all the way down to 1 and 0. What we're doing here between counting down your call bursts from 10 all the way down to 1 and 0 and counting down the calls you make within each burst from 10 all the way down to 1 and 0 is leveraging momentum bias in our favor. We're leveraging psychology to our advantage in the following way. Imagine when you count up with your bursts and count up with your calls, your brain gets freaked out and flustered thinking, when is this ever going to end? It feels infinite. But when you flip things around and count down from 10 down to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 between your bursts and the calls within those bursts, you get wins psychologically every time you count down from 10 bursts to 9 or 10 calls down to 9 to 8 to 7 to 6 calls all the way down to 1 and 0. As you count down, you keep winning and you build momentum and you stay motivated and you execute more efficiently. Within each burst of 10 calls, you might expect a 10% pickup rate. So 9 calls take about 10 minutes and then you have 1 conversation. And all along as you execute your calls, you want to be locked in, have tunnel vision, no LinkedIn, no social media, no Slack, no distractions, just execute. And speaking of executing, there's no excuses. It's time for you to take what you just learned and go make 100 cold calls yourself. And once you complete those 100 calls, celebrate with us by throwing an 100 in the comments. Remember this, the common denominator of success is that successful people and successful salespeople make a habit of doing the uncomfortable things that failures aren't willing to do. They put in the preparation outside of work hours so they can execute in their call blocks, and they make more calls. Even though cold calling is uncomfortable and unnatural, it's unnatural skills that produce unnatural results. I can say with confidence that every cold call you make today is an investment in a multi-million-dollar opportunity for you 10 years from now. You're investing in your earning potential, your financial upside, your high-leverage sales skills, your people capital and network, and becoming a better version of yourself. That is going to fuel life-changing multi-million-dollar opportunities for you in the future if you lean in and give it all you got today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you really want to master cold calling, learn multiple scripts that are proven, and how to handle all types of objections, then check out my in-depth interview and cold call roleplay with Kevin Dorsey and another I did with Jason Bay, and make sure to download my free cold calling system with multiple cold calling scripts and 15 objections with example responses linked in the description of this video. To your success in tech sales and in life, happy selling and happy living, and we'll see you in the next one. Isn't that right? We'll see you in the next one. Right there.